Thank you for joining me on Paris Grace. On this occasion, I have this Sherry Line Gucci toiletry bag, typically labeled Gucci Parfum Collection, which is intended to be used for travel, and it's a way to carry your toiletries. This kind of bag is lined in a plastic, which in this particular occasion is not in bad shape. It's fairly clean, so if you want to, well, there are some parts here where it's coming off. Here is the label. Gucci Parfum, made in Italy. Looks like a number underneath, not exactly sure if it's a 36 or 38. So, if you came across a bag like this and you wanted to turn it more into a clutch, I would definitely switch out the lining and perhaps put a pocket. I do have another video of exactly the same idea with a bag that's exactly the same, but slightly different as far as issues are concerned. The main focus of this video is really how to bring this leather back to life. As you can see, there is some discoloration, probably loss of color, and that can be found throughout. On the sides, as you can see right here, this has certainly lost some of the color. Now, some people that work with leather might consider just conditioning the leather, and that should bring out the color. On this particular occasion, in this bag, for example, it appears that the stitches or the thread used here is blue. On occasion, this is white, and so, or white or cream color tone. And so, depending on your project, you may need to do different things or going different directions. This bag has been cleaned already with soapy water. So as you can see right here, it's not too bad, and that includes the leather areas as well. I just need to kind of lift some of the lint here. So because the thread is blue, that allows me to perhaps put some color in. And so I will be considering that in this video. In bringing your leather back to life, I came across this particular product. It's a royal blue pro dye from the Fibbings line, and this video is not sponsored by Fibbings. I stopped by the leather products store and I brought the bag in. They do have a wide range of dyes. This is not like your other leather dye. There's some differences between the pro dye line and the leather dye line. I believe the leather dye line has a navy blue. This one's a royal blue, so it became highly recommended. The gentleman did have a piece of cowhide that had been treated in this color, and when we compare the two, it was very, very close. So I am considering putting some color back in and then conditioning. So far it's been cleaned, and again, you can see here that I don't think just conditioning the leather would necessarily bring any color back in these areas. It would certainly make the solid parts look a little bit better, right? But I think the loss really needs to be replaced. So please stay tuned, follow this project with me. Let's begin. So to make a new lining for this bag, that is going to be sort of a floating liner, because it's not going to be stitched anywhere. It's just mainly going to be attached by gluing it to the edge right here as clean as possible. I will be removing this particular plastic one. Basically, to make the lining, I will replicate this side, and then I will measure from the inside from here to here, this point to this point, and also the height of the bag. And basically I came up with this, and I just cut out one panel to be a single piece, and then these will be, the two cutouts would be sewn on each side. Basically, I have done that already. Here's the lining. I did a pocket for one side. I decided to do a stitch right here to kind of leave this nice, clean, and flush. I have done a dry fitting just to be sure that everything sits well. I will be adding a stitch right here in the end, and then it will be placed inside the back. And here it is. So it already includes the stitching. It's just for a finishing touch, so that once it's glued on the inside, it actually looks like it was always meant to be there. Okay, so I'll show you what the dry fit looks like. The pocket will go on this side of the label, as you see right here. The original plastic lining will be removed. And so when I do my dry fit, I just want to make sure that all of the stitching, part of the lining, is actually fitting nice and flush. And so that will be the case. And then I will make sure that right here in the corner, the stitching is right where it needs to be. The same thing on this side. And then it will be like so on the edges and all the way around. So make a few adjustments, and these adjustments will be done again once I remove the plastic lining, and this will be ready to come in. To remove this lining, I will just very carefully run a utility knife along the edge here, and just applying a little bit of pressure, enough to go through the plastic. This is actually not very thick, and it's mainly loose, so once you cut it off from the this area, it will come right out. Just like that. So here's the bag after having applied this product. And the idea was to even out some of the loss of the original color. This is fairly transparent, so it may require a couple of coats. It seems that the color is more even now, but there is some color variation. It did improve quite a bit, as you can see here. It's more even now. It's just making sure that, we're bringing some more conditioning to the surface. I've tried a couple of different areas. One of the products that I usually use is this 4-way care leather conditioner and also the mink oil. I've decided to go with the mink oil. I feel that this product just gave it a little bit of dullness to it and not a lot of shine. And I know that it will be absorbed in the leather, so the sheen won't last very long, but I think I want to go with this one. So I have just a piece of cloth here. I will just dab on the areas. I will show you here, for example. I tested this one as well, and after a few minutes that shine was gone. But I just feel that this is, out of the two products, the one I want to go with. Naturally, I don't want to get it on the canvas, so I'm just going very carefully here on the edges. And it seems like just a dab seems to go a long way, but if you feel like you're left with no product, then by all means get another amount on your fabric or your cloth here. Just getting in the corners, making sure I've got enough of the product and evenly covering the area. Okay, so I just will inspect and make sure that I didn't miss any areas. still have a little bit of product left on the cloth, and just let it sit there so that it does its magic. Okay. In this next step, I'm using a Lysol wipe just to go over the canvas. I did a little bit of a test earlier and I felt like the canvas wasn't very soiled at a glance, but look at all the grime that is coming off. So this will perhaps help it look a little bit fresher, cleaner. Yeah, some soil continues to come out, and I'm sure it's just, you know, the environment, setting the bag on surfaces, also smoke, those kinds of things will adhere to the surfaces. Here we go. This is what my cloth looks like right now, or my wipe. I'm just trying to use the areas of my wipe that don't seem dirty so I can continue going for this. And it looks like I'm still getting some traces of grime here. The web material didn't seem to have a lot of or any stains, so I will probably be leaving that as is. Looks like I've removed a lot of it, so here we are. So here we have the end result. The process of restoring this bag has included different steps. One of the main ones is cleaning the surface. So this was cleaned, the entire surface was cleaned, the color loss in different areas was retouched or redone, and then the conditioning of the entire leather surface. Then a main feature of this restoration has also included the replacement of the original lining. I think that's a very nice feature now for this bag. I thank you so much for joining this edition of Paris Grace. I hope that you will find the information helpful. We shall see you next time. Thanks for watching.